please.
Gregory, producer, writer, co-director.
Dave Mack, I'm a co-director and co-producer.
Omer, I'm Sean, and also the actor in this film.
So for those of you who may not be privy to Huey P. Newton's story, it's based on the Black Panther Party, but you're giving it through a different lens about the years after the dismantling of the Black Panther Party, and really humanizing compared to publications about Huey P. Newton, and giving kind of like a broader spectrum of who he was and his contribution. So tell us like the inspiration. What were you trying to convey through this film about Huey P. Newton of the Black Panther Party, FBI?
For the most part, it was humanizing, like you said, because everything that you had heard about up until that point in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, was just that he was not good. He was not a good person. And I wanted to show that he was a father, he was a son, he was a husband, and he was really a man that struggled with his demons. I think the biggest inspiration when I started researching and started writing the story was that I discovered things along the way. One was, they interviewed everyone in that neighborhood where he got shot, and no one had seen or heard anything, which I thought was interesting. But then I typed in Huey P. Newton's last words, and in the Library of Congress, they actually have his last words, which is what I quote in the film. You can kill my body, and those are his last words during the Library of Congress. And the first thing came to mind is, wait, if nobody heard it, who heard this? And his wife always believed that it was a plot, that it was an assassination.
Which, also with that, is the COINTELPRO counterintelligence, basically a legal program from the FBI, and the Black Panther Party received the brunt of it. I don't know if you want to, it really conveyed through, when you show it through the FBI agents, and is that really, you wanted to highlight that to also contribute to the story, like, wait a minute, they were targeted, and that's, you can see why this would, encourage and add to his demons, like being pressured by the FBI, and the Black Panther Party had this thing be dismantled like that. That can really affect somebody emotionally.
Yeah, and what was so interesting is now with everything that's going on with black men being shot, the men that I've listed in the story were real men who got killed, and I was able to go in and look up the statistics, the police statistics, and the Black Panther Party had expanded to the point where it was in different states. But at that time in the late 80s, the only thing that was really going on was the late night news, and they weren't reporting these murders.
And so, how long did this? I also want to add, what went into making this film? Like, what did you have to, gather, and how in depth, how long did it take for this film to come to fruition?
Well, I know as far as when I was actually asked to direct this at the beginning of the process, and I was in the middle of a feature, so I couldn't do all of the days, but it was a very powerful project. And for me, it only took, like 4 days of shooting, I think it was, but there was a lot of prep for it, not only because it's 2 directors, but because it's very powerful, intense emotional stuff. And the dichotomy of basically it's almost like a person at one point in his life being a king, and it's almost like the last act in the Shakespearean play, and it's this huge tragedy, and we had to try to find a way to get to the visceral element of what made this person at his lowest peak, but the humanity that's beyond that, so you can see the dichotomy inside. I'd like to see.
It really did display the mood, the character, the depth, and just showing his connections with his loved ones, and really exposing a vulnerable side to the leadership instead of the hardened version that has been shown with very limited publication. So that was really shown through the film, and I noticed with the cinematography of the different characters from the FBI agents to convey a certain mood. How did you choose which and how to kind of project that movie through the film. I mean, the DP with the cameras, with the lighting, and just the location and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a long process. I don't remember how long it took, but it was
4 months.
But yeah, you brought me on kind of early on, and we had to find each scene, each location, each character. Like we said, had to think of the color palette and the way the shot list and how we could shoot each one. It was a process, and we had a lot of discussions about each and every element because we had this plan to do so.
So very extensive pre-production and stuff like this. Like it's about 30-minute almost. It feels like a feature. Yeah, it's a 30-minute film, and it takes months for that level of quality was critical. It took months of preparing, and to take something as groundbreaking as the Black Panther Party and handling of Huey P. Newton's legacy. So I can understand the multi-layers of the time that took into that. I really see that in the film, and I think that's really wonderful. Is there any where you'd like to continue? Would you like to expand to a feature, or would you like to continue this as a 30-minute film and festivals and whatnot?
For the most part, continue it as a 30 minutes, because right now the film is gaining traction because, of course, the big cigar is coming out. And also, with going into feature territory, you want to involve the family.
Yes.
I reached out to the family. I realized early on they're very private, so I didn't get a response back. So most of my writing dealt with what was public and what was put out there. So I know with a story like that and a legacy like that, his widow, Frederica, has a lot to contribute.
That's wonderful. And is the film on social media? Is there where we can follow and gain more traction towards this film to get more eyes on it? Because I would love people to hear more about this story, because a lot of people don't know too much about Huey P. Newton, let alone his years after the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the IG page, which is Huey the short film?
Yes.
Yeah, Huey the short film. It just got accepted into the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, which is a Oscar qualified film festival. Which
Yes.
2 days ago, it got into the Greenwood Film Festival, which is in Tulsa, the home of the Black Wall Street.
Woo!
And then as I was pulling into the parking lot here to come to this film festival, it got into the Charlotte, North Carolina Black Film Festival.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Wonderful. So yeah, Huey the short film. Make sure you go follow it on all social media platforms. Instagram, I think it's the most popular one. I don't know if you have a TikTok, but definitely Instagram. So thank you. Give it up for the movie Huey and all.